20.
Okay. Welcome back to TechTuesday. And reminder, this is just information. Please mute yourself. There's some background noise. We are recording the session, but we're not going to be recording the discussion after the talk. And I'm reminding you the goal is not to go into depth, but to spark some thinking. So please participate. And I'd love to have volunteers. Just contact me and I'll set you up with a slot to give your own Tech Tuesday. The format is 5 minutes talking about technology, 10 minutes talking about problems and/or solutions, and then 10 minutes discussion, and that's it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about manufacturing methods. Most technological products are manufactured, often in some sort of factory. And of course, if it's your client, I'm sure that the factory keeps everything secret. But manufacturing methods are always improving. Sometimes the improvements are incremental, 0.5% here, 0.5% there. And sometimes revolutionary. They can lower the cost by 50% or something like that, or increase the yield from 70% to 95%, or avoid safety problems. So the question that we are always wondering is, should we file a patent for a method of manufacture, or should we keep it a trade secret? And today I'm going to talk about how we might protect it using a patent, even as we save some things as trade secrets. So here's just a few examples of methods of manufacture. The website called Secret of Baking Bread in a Home Oven tells us a secret that you should bake bread at 220 degrees Celsius. If you don't do it, the bread doesn't come out as fluffy. A way of testing. King Arthur Flour Catalog talks about most breads, when the internal temperature is 190 degrees Fahrenheit, they're ready to eat. If you don't know that, your bread won't come out as good. Every chemistry handbook says that when you mix acid and water, you should first add the acid. So the order of steps you do can be very important for your method of manufacture. Raw ingredients. If you want to whip egg whites, you get better results if you have fresh eggs than if you have old eggs. And often you have specific tools that are used in manufacturing, or ways of calibrating these tools, or you avoid a step, or you do a different step instead. Instead of washing something off, you shake it to make the pieces fall out. And here's a very nice example I read about just last week. Some of you might be familiar with Henry Ford. When he was asked, what color does your Model T come in? He said, any color you want as long as it's black. The question is why? The answer is that when he came out with his cars, painting took 3 days. You had to apply a layer and let the car rest, and then apply another layer, and so on. Now, if you think about doing that in the context of assembly line, the result is you have to have a very big storage lot to keep all of these cars while they're being painted. Black paint, however, could be applied immediately and used immediately. Sometime in the 20s, they discovered a material called Duco. And what's important about it is that it allows you to finish painting the car in the same day. And then they started coming out with colorful Model Ts. So basically, this new material completely changed the way you manufacture cars, the size of the factory, and the range of products you can give to a client. So here are some concerns people usually have when they have a method of manufacture and should they file it. First of all, you might be helping the competition. Sometimes you help the competition a little bit. You help them save money, more profit, better product. Sometimes you help the competition a lot because your method of manufacture allows them to enter a new market. Sometimes when somebody reads your patent on method of manufacture, you get a new competitor. They didn't know how to do it at all, but now they've read your patents, they know how to do it. And sometimes the competition you're helping is not the manufacturing itself, but let's say add-on, replacement parts, maintenance. There's a lot of big money in that. Another concern is best mode. And in the US is a requirement or not to provide the best mode of carrying out the invention. Do you describe it? Will it help people and so on? How will I find out if somebody's infringing my patent? A lot of factories, everything is secret. How will I know if anybody's using my method? Business intelligence, admitting infringement. If you describe how you're manufacturing, people know that you're infringing their patent. They could sue you. Business intelligence. Your competitors, when they read what you're doing, since what you're doing in manufacturing usually is some very basic infrastructure which sets the direction of your company, it helps your competitors know where you can more easily compete and where you can't. And of course, we always hear the word China. China has no IP rights. Everybody's going to copy me. What am I going to do? I'm not going to answer all of these concerns. I am going to point out that TRIPS agreement that also China has signed on. And you can read this later if you want. But the point is that if somebody makes a product and the product is new, then you can definitely require them to prove that they're not infringing your method of manufacture. Each country has its own way of doing it, okay? But the point is, you can force them to tell. And also in China, you can do it, and there have been court cases in the Supreme Court on this matter in China. Okay, so here are a few things that we can actually do. One is signatures. Usually when you manufacture a product, it has some sort of signature which indicates the method of manufacture. So in chemistry, it can be a leftover material. If it's a mechanical device, you can see scratches from the manufacturer. Some signatures are individual, meaning each and every product, you see here's a product, the ball, I don't know if you can see it has a seam because it was made in a mold. Okay, that's a signature. If I were to claim a ball with a seam around the outside, I would be protecting my method of manufacture and people would not be able to get away with it. Sometimes the signature is statistical. Let's say the other ways of making the seam, what's special about my way of making it is the uniformity. These balls are usually sold in large numbers in big boxes. I can claim a box that has a variance of less than such and such in the size of the seam. Okay, it's a statistical property. I can't claim a statistical property for a single object, but items of manufacture are usually not manufactured just one. We can protect a way of quality control. Different methods of manufacturers have different failings and they need different ways of quality control. We can claim new usage ranges. A device might be more reliable. Ways of maintaining. Often when you have a new way of manufacturing, you change the product in order to make use of the new manufacturing method. We can claim the changed product. So in all of these examples, we're not actually trying to patent the method of manufacture, but trying to patent something else, which is directly impacted by the method of manufacture. And here's a few examples of, let's call it smart filing. We can ask for protection on last year's method of manufacture, and by the time it publishes in a year and a half from now, we will have a much better method. We can describe no method of manufacture, or I should say a method of manufacture we're not using, okay? And people can try to copy it, except we're not using it, okay? A little bit of deception here. We can talk about timing. If we have a big competitor, we can wait for the competitor to invest in his infrastructure, and after that, describe our method of manufacture. Once a competitor has spent tens of millions of dollars in a method of manufacture, he's not going to change it. And of course, in patents, we only protect a critical part of the puzzle. We don't have to actually protect the entire way of manufacturing. So we can file a patent on a method of manufacture before we know everything else that's necessary in order to carry out the method. Okay, so we can file a patent on the first step, and we don't even know what the second step is. So there's not even an issue of best mode. Okay, so this is what I had to say about methods of manufacture, and now I am stopping the recording.